I'm Rachel.
I'm Joey.
I'm Phoebe.
I'm not doing this.
Come on.
Yeah, this is a shameless, exploitive attempt to get people to watch our show.
Exactly.
Friends, Thursday nights, right here on NBC.
Would you stop? They've got us in our underwear. We're never going to be in our underwear. We're not going to be in our underwear, are we?
Friends, between Mad About You and Seinfeld, Thursdays this fall. 'Twas Thursday before Christmas, and on NBC, a night of great comedy, all must-see TV. First, a friend's nursing question that no man can figure.
If he blows into one, does the other one get bigger?
Then defeat by a girl for our dear single guy. And what does it take to make a grown Georgie cry? Then Richard's attacked. He could have been killed.
I was mugged by a member of the Lollipop Guild.
Caroline in the City, plus an ER you must see. A Merry Thursday for all, here on...
You're not very bright, are you?
Sitcom All Ye Faithful, a Christmas podcast special, where for the third time I discuss 25 Christmas sitcom episodes. Please come and listen every day up through Christmas. I'm sure we'll feature Jeannie, the Tanners, and Nell Harper, Chandler, Big Mr. Roper. It will be dynamite. We'll definitely feature a character who says dynamite. Happy December, everybody, and welcome back to year 3 of Sitcom All Ye Faithful. I can't believe it. A year has gone by, and we're back for another 25 episodes of Christmas sitcoms, celebrating the good, the classic, and the other ones as well. One of the differences between this special that I do and other ones that I do is this one doesn't have to be done on a daily basis. It's not like a challenge where I have to watch an episode every day and podcast about an episode every day. Nope. This one is completely just get 25 episodes done and release one every single day, so I can do it at my leisure, which of course means that I can record these episodes weeks in advance, months in advance. I have these dreams of recording them in over the summer, getting a few in the can, and then just boom, releasing them all, doing some in December as well. And that being said, it's November 30th, and I am recording this episode one day in advance. But for you right now, it is December. I don't know why I just said that like some sort of Dracula, but it is December. It is the holiday season, and I am kicking it off with really one of the most popular sitcoms of all time, Friends. And this sitcom is so popular that I ended up watching 2 episodes, and there's a reason for that. There is a reason for that. It will make sense to me, at least. But just looking back at Friends, I mean, this show was humongous. It kind of still is humongous in its own way. Like, I remember, so I was a freshman in college when Friends came out, and I think it had to have been a mid-season replacement. And the reason I remember this is because my memory of watching this, I brought my TV to college. I didn't care if my roommate had a TV. You can have a TV, buddy, but I'm watching my TV over here. So I had my TV in college, but when I think, and I could be wrong, but I think I started watching Friends, the beds were already bunked. And Jay will remember this, former and future podcast host, regular on Geek Mentality. You'll be seeing him soon. You'll be seeing him this month. And we bunked the beds for me and my roommate and I don't know, whatever. He lived in the dorm next door. We're like, let's do this. And I think it was a dumb decision because I didn't, this kid wasn't there all that much, but I liked having my half and his half. And I thought, this will be great. We'll have more room. More room for what? Really for what? For me to throw magazines across the room. Don't put this on my side of the room. I had this invisible area around my desk. And if it was there, I was very angry. But, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, Friends. I remember watching Friends in the dorm freshman year. I have that memory. And the following year, I had my own room. And I remember my girlfriend at the time, who happens to be my wife at the time right now, my wife, we were hanging out in the dorm that I was in, watching Friends, seeing the big moment where Ross and Rachel kissed. And that episode actually took place 2 episodes before the one that I'm talking about today. And looking back at this show, it is incredible to think how television has changed from then up until now. But really what I mean is for the viewers. Because if you get a sitcom now that gets a couple million viewers, you're considered a success. But back in 1995, these shows were getting 30 million people watching every week. You have to remember the internet is pretty new. There's no such thing as streaming. There's no such thing as really the portable screens. You have your big computers. There were laptops, but come on, they looked like they look like suitcases almost. This one had 30 million. I'm sorry, the one where they kiss had 30 million. The one afterwards had more viewers. The one I'm watching today had 27 million, and it probably because it was a month. It was a month between the kissing, the aftermath of the kiss, and this episode here. And I haven't rewatched Friends. So it was a show that we watched religiously for a while. And I think at a certain point, because when it ended, we were already married. I think my wife stopped caring, and I kind of stopped caring, but then I'd watch it. But then at the same time, we were obsessed with Survivor. I mean, think about that. Survivor, remember that show? Yeah, guess what? I still love it, and I watched it last night. So the point being is this show was a phenomenon, which that's right. Phenomenon is the singular, correct? And is it phenomena? Phenomena? Do. I don't remember. Or I say that like at one point I did remember. I don't know what the plural of phenomenon is, but I think it's phenomena. But again, this show is huge. And I was looking at a list of shows that I have, and I said, I haven't done a Friends episode yet. It was such a huge thing. I haven't done one yet. And I don't know why I sounded like that. I haven't done one yet. But I thought now's the time. I might as well do it. The show it's not as big as it ever was, but I mean, it had the Max reunion. That was a huge deal. It is still a big deal in the streaming world. It's on Max, HBO Max now. So it is, I think it's still very, very popular. Next generations are finding. It's like people finding The Office and continuing to watch it. There's a big deal with that in Friends. And, and then it got back in my head just a month ago. Unbelievably, Matthew Perry passed away. So I definitely wanted to make sure to put Chandler Bing in my song, my opening song. And then, of course, here I am kicking off with Chandler and the rest of the Friends right away. But to be completely honest with you, The one with Phoebe's dad. Every episode is the one with something something. The one with Phoebe's dad was not the first episode that I chose. And it's actually not the first episode that I watched. I watched 2 episodes of Friends this morning. The first one I watched was the one with the holiday armadillo. And I thought, oh, this was very memorable. Ross dresses up as an armadillo. We got Santa, and Joey dresses up as Superman. I mean, really, what else could you ask for? And I watched it, and I thought, this was okay. It was funny. There were funny moments. There were dumb moments. And I'm thinking also, wow, were sitcoms like this? Like, was Phoebe that dumb? You know, like the whole thing with, I have like the contrivance of, I have to get a drum set to make Rachel get annoyed by Joey, so she'll move out and move in with me. Like, that's very sitcom-y. But at the same time, they're all likable and charming, good-looking people, so you kind of just go with it. But I watched it and I said, you know, this isn't all that Christmassy. There is, or holiday-y even. You know, it was Ross wanting to teach his son, one of those Zach and Cody kids, about Hanukkah, about his Hanukkah side of the family. The kid was a little more interested in Santa, so Ross was going to dress up as Santa, but there wasn't any costumes available 2 days before Christmas, so he had to dress up as an armadillo. And that was the highlight of the episode, him dressing up as the armadillo, talking about holiday armadillo and trying to teach his son about Hanukkah. But every time he got into it, he got interrupted first by Chandler, who did find a Santa costume, then by Joey, who just dressed up as Superman for the hell of it, I guess. But that was only one of the stories. The other story was Chandler wanted to get Monica into this nice restaurant, but he didn't know how to grease the palms of the maitre d'. So he was practicing that through the whole episode. And what I talked about, the Rachel and Joey were living together, and Phoebe wanted to get them out, wanted to get Rachel back with her. So she buys a drum set, then she buys a tarantula, and we find out Rachel loves tarantulas. Not very Christmassy. The only Christmassy part, a holiday part, was Ross's story. And I said, you know what, though? That's pretty good. I'll go with it. And then I thought, you know what? No, I will not. So I decided to switch things up at the last minute and go all the way back to season 2, which is what I'm talking about, when really the show was like an incredible. Let's look at it this way. In the episode that I did today had 27 million people watching it. So if I go into the final season, was this season 9 that I did this? I think the episode I did was season 7. Okay, so it was already a huge hit by season 7. I mean, it was already a huge hit by season 2. But let's look at the amount of viewers by season 7. The one with the holiday armadillo. 23 million. So still a big deal, because 2000 we're getting more distractions, but and television viewing is a little different. Cable television, cable shows are getting more prestige. There is the DVR. The DVR, it might have even existed in 95. The TiVo has been around forever, but it wasn't something where every household got them. And again, I didn't get my first one till about 2005, but there were still other things to do, by the year 2000. So slightly less distracting, but still 23 million is a huge, huge deal. And again, this was a huge hit show. So it's not just the viewing. It's not just the viewing habits. It's the fact that, people love the show, and this is how you watch it. This is the only way. You're not going to watch it. You're not going to DVR it. You're not going to stream it. This is how you watch it. You're going to watch it. But this episode, the one with Phoebe's dad, was much more Christmassy based, much more holiday based. It seemed like everyone was doing something Christmas related. So just to go through all the characters, it's easier this way. And why is it called the one with Phoebe's dad? Is because they're in Central Perk. It's Christmas, and Ross did some Christmas shopping. And we find out that him and Rachel, they're not quite where we thought they were. So he did some Christmas shopping, and he bought a frame, and Phoebe comes in and goes, "Oh my God, that's my dad." And they're like, "Phoebe, that's the guy who comes with the frame." So the whole story of Phoebe is she goes to her grandmother and finds out that the guy that they said was her dad was just a model that was in these frames all these years, all these different frames, like all these different graduation frames. He's just an actor, a model. And the grandmother eventually tells her, "Look, he's not some tree surgeon who lives in Burma who has no access to, the outside world. He is a pharmacist who lives upstate." So her big thing is she finally says, "You know what? I want to meet my dad." She goes with Joey and Chandler, driving her grandmother's cab. Things I don't remember, like her grandmother was a cab driver. In the Armadillo episode, her grandmother was dead and she was getting that apartment. But in this episode, she wants to go meet her dad, so she decided to bring Joey and Chandler with her in the cab so they can also get some Christmas shopping done. Their big story is we haven't done any Christmas shopping, and Christmas is right around the corner. What are we going to do? So they go with her. Now, there was a missed opportunity for a joke, and maybe they've done it before, where they get in the cab and Phoebe turns the meter on. And they could ignore it, they could forget it, but just for a moment, have the meter running so that she charges them. I just thought that was a missed joke that I was expecting. It didn't happen. So Phoebe gets to her dad's house, and she can't go in. In the long run, she doesn't want to go. She has this vision of him that was shattered, this fake guy. And she says, "You know what? I've already lost a fake dad. I don't want to lose a real dad. Maybe someday, but not today." And Joey and Chandler support her. But it starts to snow, so Joey goes outside and pees in the snow because he's been sitting in the car for so long. But honestly, nobody noticed a cab outside. They didn't say anything. So we jump. That's their story, and they finally end up back at the apartment in the aftermath of a party. Rachel and Monica were throwing a Christmas party, but before that, we find out that they're not tipping people this year. They're just giving Christmas cookies, and people don't like that. The newspaper man, the mailman, they're kind of they're trashing their stuff because of their cookies they're giving. They want money, and Ross accidentally, because now Ross's thing is, I'm a man, I can stand up for myself, even though Rachel was like, "Why didn't you're not a go-getter, why aren't we together?" And that's what I want to know. And Ross is like, "I'm a go-getter, I will fix the furnace myself." And he breaks the furnace. He goes to turn it down and he breaks it, and so it's super hot in this Christmas party. And everyone, like Rachel is Monica's giving out ice cubes as hors d'oeuvres, which was funny. And they're kind of scantily dressed a little bit, so that wasn't, it's not all bad. And the super finally shows up. He says, "I'm not coming till Tuesday." And you think he's mad, but he's like, "What I told you, the store doesn't open till Tuesday, but this is a great party." And Ross tries to I'm going to show him I'm a go-getter. He gives him $50 to, as a tip, like as a little bribe to get the work done. The guy's like, "Are you guys listening? I can't do this." But Ross ended up giving him $100, which I thought was kind of funny. And then at the end, Joey and Chandler show up, and Joey's like, "Oh, I just turned it off at the bottom. Sorry, if that's okay." They realized they could have done that the entire time and been okay and had a normal Christmas party. But the episode ends with what the hell is it? It ends with Joey and Chandler giving them Christmas gifts, and the only thing they could do is stop at a gas station. So they got Monica. They got them all like junk. They got Monica. They got something from they got Phoebe toilet seat covers. Monica something else from the car place. Ross a couple cans of soda, and Rachel and Monica. They got rubbers. They don't say it. They go rib for her pleasure, and then of course her and Ross switch at the end. She takes the sodas. He takes the prophylactics. And I think that's it. I feel like Ross, I just watched it. Did I miss something? Did Ross do anything else? Maybe he did. I don't know. But I know one thing. It's exciting to be here talking sitcoms. So it's actually early Thursday morning, November 30th, unless, of course, you're listening to this by the magic of editing and podcasting. It's December. I need to get started at work. I need to get logged on and get cracking. So, but I am excited. I watched 2 Friends episodes, and I have to say, you know what? I enjoyed this. I'm glad I did this. Like, it's one of those shows where, you know, it's nostalgic because it brings me back to a specific time in my life. But it was also just a fun, enjoyable episode. You know, the old-fashioned, the old, what is it? Do they call them multi-cameras with the laugh tracks? They don't do that like CBS still likes to do it, but they don't really do that like that anymore. So it was that, and the fact that you know, all the characters are pretty enjoyable. Ross is probably the best, and I remember, yeah, I think I was a Rachel guy more than a Monica guy. I don't know. I was a teenager, and there were some very attractive women on the TV every week. So, you know, I enjoyed watching the show on multiple levels. But Friends is over with. Let's not talk about that anymore. Let's talk about 24 more episodes to go. There's going to be excitement. There's going to be like, oh, he's finally doing this series. And there's going to be, wait, he's doing this series? Why is he doing this? We're going to have guests, our usual guests. You know, so I'm looking forward to it. And some of them I've spoken to, some of them I haven't spoken to yet. So Brandon, Eric, Jay, and Chris, I want to see all of you show back up. If you're hearing this for the first time, get ready. I have a list of shows. I try not to repeat. We're going to probably have to start repeating shows soon, but I try not to repeat too many. Always day 25 is always the same. And so far, always with Chris is the same show. But there may be a little twist with that as well. So I'm excited, looking forward to 24 more days of Christmas sitcoms. But in the meantime, did you know that I'm on social media? Again, why did I do a vampire? There's a lot more social media since the last time. Did you know I'm on Geek Mentality? At Geek Mentality on Twitter? Yeah. At Geek Mentality on Threads? Yeah. At Geek Mentality on Instagram? Sure. At Geek Mentality on Mastodon.social? Whatever that is. And now I'm Mikey-C on Blue Sky. I thought maybe I'll make a Geek Mentality over there too. But right now, it's just Mikey-C. I can't do the underscore because if you follow my personal Twitter account, Mikey_C, I couldn't do an underscore. So it's Mikey-C over on the new Blue Sky because I want to spread my wings. And because Twitter, that's what I call it, it still is the best place, I feel like, to reach more people and to see topics that I like, but there's so much clutter and garbage, and the trending topics suck, and the spam is awful. Like, it is just, it's like someone took it who didn't know what they were doing and tried to do something with it, that, even though they're really, really stupid. And that's what Twitter is to me now. Yet it's still a good resource to find people I like and tweet about things that I like. Yes, I tweet. I don't post on X. Garbage. And of course, Facebook is Fans Not Experts. That's because this podcast, Geek Mentality, is found at fansnotexperts.com, where also every other podcast I do can be found there. There's a new Christmas episode of Fine Movies, Fine Spirits coming soon, again with Chris. And there was a recent episode of Stranger Danger that just came out. I got to get a new episode of Slash out. Yes, apparently all I like to do is podcast. But for the next 25 days, this podcast is my number one focus. So I hope you stick around. I hope to hear from you. You can email me at geekmentality@fansnotexperts.com. And, of course, you can reach me on any of those social media accounts. And let me know what your favorite sitcom is. Or if you have an iTunes, Apple Podcast, you can always leave a review. Not many people do. You could be part of a rare group of very special people. But that's it. I'm rambling now. I really need to get started at work. So have a wonderful December 1st. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, everybody. We're getting started. I can officially say Merry Christmas in December. Happy holidays, all that fun stuff. And until tomorrow, my friends, because, yes, I will be back tomorrow talking more holiday sitcoms. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. And here is, I love saying this, my theme song. This is my podcast. I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe. Cause I'm kinda funny and awesome. I think that I'm worth your time. And I'm kinda handsome. My mom says, please listen and please subscribe. At least listen to this episode.
Fast, not experts.